Activity-based budgeting follows the practice of activity-based costings. Before explaining activity-based budgeting, let's have a quick run-through of activity-based costings. Activity-based costing is used as an alternative to absorption costings. Its aim is to calculate the full production cost of a unit. There are 5 steps of activity-based costing. Group production overheads into activities called cost pools. Activities are pooled according to how they are driven. Identify cost drivers for each activity. This is what actually causes the activity cost to be incurred. Calculate the overhead absorption rate for each activity. Absorb the activity cost into the product. And calculate the full production cost and profit or loss. The advantages of activity-based costing is that it provides a more accurate cost per unit. This can lead to better decision-making and performance management. It provides an insight into what activities are driving cost, which can result in better cost control. It can assist in repricing or with the elimination of unprofitable products. It can assist in identifying and eliminating activities which do not add value to the product or service. It recognizes that not all overhead costs are related to production and sales volumes. It can be applied to all overhead costs, not just the overhead costs of production. And activity-based costings can be used just as easily with service costings as with product costings. The disadvantages of activity-based costings are the time and cost involved in collecting and analyzing the data required for activity-based costings. It is of little benefit if overheads are primarily volume-based or form only a small proportion of costs. The choice of cost drivers may be inappropriate, and it's impossible to allocate all overheads to specific activities. Activity-based budgeting uses the principles of activity-based costings to assess demand on resources when setting budgets. Estimate production and sales volumes. Estimate activities required to fulfill these volumes. Determine resources required to perform activities. For each resource, determine quantity that is required in order to meet demand. And adjust capacity of resources to match projected supply. The advantages of activity-based budgeting is that it draws attention to the overhead activities and provides information for control of activities and costs. The disadvantages are that it requires a lot of time and effort to produce an activity-based budget. It is of little benefit if overheads are primarily volume-based or form only a small proportion of costs. The choice of cost drivers may be inappropriate. Activities and resource levels may be difficult to determine, and it's impossible to allocate all overheads to specific activities.